Next, let's take a look at the email action. You can see I already have a schedule created with an email action set. When creating an email action, you need to set the from address, so I went ahead and wrote one down here. And then you need to specify a mail server. Now the mail server is new as of Ignition 7.8, and there's a certain place you have to configure this on the Gateway webpage. Now instead of having to open up the Gateway webpage yourself, you can click on this little Create New Server link down below. Once you click on it, your web browser will open up and show you your Gateway webpage. And you see I already have one configured named Mailinator. Now this is located on the Gateway webpage under the Configure tab, under Configuration, and Email Settings. If we edit this profile, you'll see that the configuration looks very similar to configuring an SMTP server for alarm notification. I'll click back on my browser, and let's test the SMTP profile using the test link. We'll give an email address this is from. We'll use the same to address we're going to use in our report. And click the Send Test Email button. Now you can see the email went through successfully. If there's some sort of problem, you'd see an error message down here and give you a little more information about what was wrong. Additionally, you'll see an error message in the Gateway console. Now since my SMTP server seems to be working, I'm going to close my browser here. And let's take a look at the rest of the properties on the email action. You can specify the format, how many retries should the email go through in case there is a problem. And then there's this recipient source property. There are two types of recipient sources. There's email addresses and user roles. The action will only ever use the selected recipient source. So I can't use both an email addresses and user role recipient source on the same action. However, I could create an additional email action on my schedule if I wanted to use both. When using email addresses, you'll see this recipient email table appear down below. There are two columns. There's address, so wherever you want to send the report to. And then there's the method column, so you could specify to, CC, blind CC. If you click on the plus icon, you can add more rows. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these extras though. If we take a look at user roles, you can send your reports out to all your users with specific roles. And it will auto-detect any roles that you have, so have an admin, we'll do a comma, we'll do operators. There we are. So now all my administrators and operators would get this report. We'll change this back to email addresses for now, though. Lastly, you can configure the subject of the email, the attached file name, and if we scroll down here, the body of the email. Now, just like the other actions, you don't have to wait for the schedule to come. You can run this immediately. So let's go ahead and do that right now. You'll see that the button is grayed out, and it just came back. So let's take a look at our inbox. You can see there are two emails. There's one from me earlier, that test email, and then my report was just sent out.